Hi, I wasn't going to make another video about this, but I like the set of chainrings so much I actually bought another set. These ones weren't elliptical enough on the small chainring, so I ordered another one. I think it was G4s of his, and they've got a much more elliptical small chainring, which I think I'm going to like more. As I said, I didn't really want to change out of the big elliptical chainring, the G2, which is very elliptical, or oval should I say. I just found it very good. It felt like it went very hard to very soft as the pedal stroke changed, you know, as I went around and I hit the top, it went very soft and then caught again as my feet were going into what you'd call a power zone, basically, where you'd get more power out of the crank. So as soon as I went over the top, you know, the crank started going forward, I found that it would tighten up a bit. It would go harder again, but as I was going, you know, like from almost 90, it would get very soft, so I'd find my feet would go around quite quickly. So it made it very easy in that regard. I'm impressed. So if you would watch the rest of the video, it's fine, yeah. But my chainrings arrived today from DOVAL. I want to take a look at them. They arrived a lot earlier than they should. So let's get this open. See what we have inside. Kids finally went to bed, so I can do this now. Oh, look at that, 3 sets of rings, yeah, and an instruction manual. That looks alright. It's very oval, that one. There's DOVAL NANOs. Definitive vision. I've tested NANOs for more than 400 prototypes. Let's see what they say. Right crank view, left crank view. Sorry about that. The instructions are at least legible. It's very good. Lots of pictures, lots of graphs. It looks very impressive. I'll have to give it a try and see what it does. So stroke volumes, how to set up for endurance, professional versus beginner. I'll take a picture of this and show you guys now as well. What bike? Find your own swing. Shows you which time to put it at. Omega 3. Find your own. Maintain your gear ratio. High density gear selection. Select the size of the outer chain. So the pack comprises of 3 rings, 1 inner and 2 outer. Let's see, that's a 52. What size is that? That's a 52 crank. I wonder what the size difference is. I'll have to take them off and check. You can see it's not exactly round, so it is oval. Lots of writing on there. And that one as well, that's very elliptical. It's just an oval, this is the oval. Look at that one. It's a nice little kit, it didn't cost too much either. It's got all the timing on there. The printing on this also very clear. Power stroke volume. Made in Korea. I'm going to have to read up a little bit more, and then I'll get back to you. Apparently this fits 5 or 4 bolt with a 110 BCD. So let's see on the 5, it says NANO. It looks like there's a extra part to it. They've got the little chain keep that goes behind your pedal there in a little bag. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. To stop the chain from dropping behind your crank. Now, let's see what they have here. What comes in this kit? Get all these little ties out. Well, it looks impressive. I'll have to see what it does. Let's go for a cycle on it. Okay, so that's a small ring. It's also elliptical. It's got 5-arm, 4-arm rotation and where the crank should be. Okay, and then we've got a little plate there so we can adjust the micro adjust it. Okay, that's quite clever, so you can change where your oval actually kicks in, so you can actually set it up for yourself. Okay, and it's got little things where it says the backstroke. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus. See, upstroke, forward stroke, backstroke. There's a lot of information on there. There's a little pin to change the setting on it, to advance or retard the oval. There's the crank arm. The dropping pin goes in. Don't push down, just swing this way. Prevents RTB. We'll have to see that. What does that say there? Increase resistance. Upstroke. Dead spot changer. Forward stroke. Decrease resistant. Crank arm. So there's 2 points where you can put the crank arm, depending on how you want it. And back, it's got all the information that it had on the pamphlet there. I don't know. It's a lot of information. One type. What did that say? 1300 hours an hour clock. 9 hours. That's it. Tells you must use thread lock when you're doing it, so it doesn't work its way loose. And okay, once you bolt it in place, it should hold fast. There's only one mounting for advance and retard, but everything else will be clamped by your chainring bolts. I think there's going to be quite a bit of pressure on them. Feels light enough. Okay, you'd use the bracket with that, you interchange a bracket on that one. That's very, very elliptical. Or oval, should I say. I wonder how it's going to feel. I'll have to put them on my crank and try it. So there we've got my normal Shimano 52 tooth. You can see there's not much difference there, only a tiny bit oval. They just stick out a little bit more. There's not much difference in them. So I don't think that'll be like the old Biopace that people used to moan about. And with the 36 tooth, see 4 and 4 tooth, that's the setting for 4 and 4. Same thing, very light. Look, let's see. Got the 2 there. Very, very slight difference. You see it pokes out a bit more there and goes down a bit there. Not much in it as well. So we'll have to see how that works, what it feels like, if it's just psychological or if it works, yeah? This one, on the other hand, is going to be very different. That is very extreme. It's also 52 tooth, but you can see the difference there. That sticks out quite dramatically. You can see the size difference even there. It's going to be something else. So now that's what it looks like on the crank here. Yeah? It's a 4-arm crank 105. I haven't put the bolts in yet. The only thing that concerns me is if you look down there, that space that kind of sticks out funny. I wonder how that's going to affect it. I'm just going to throw it off, clean the dirt off. So this thing's just an old one that's been sitting around my workshop. It's a spare one banging about. I wonder how that's going to work. It looks weird with the little aluminium spacer there. I wonder if the gap's not going to be too wide. Although the chain won't drop down there because there's that. It'll catch it. It might help pick it up actually. If you look there, it might help pick it up to the big chain ring. We'll have to see. But I'm interested to find out how the bigger one works. Yeah, well, let's get them on. Sorry about the wet bike, it was outside in the rain. Joys of living in Ireland. I don't even think I'm going to have to change the derailleur height. I might have to a little bit just to get it over that little hump. We'll see once it's on. I know on the pack it says you can only use them on Shimano, but Shimano and FSA are very close. I don't foresee an issue with using it. As you can see, my chain rings are pretty stuffed and I'm in desperate need of replacing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that chain off there. Let's move it out the way before I tighten it up as well. If I put the big oval one on, the very elliptical one, I'll have to change all the chain rings. I'll have to change the derailleur height. Might have to change the cable and the chain length as well, depending. This is going to be quite a big gap. Push a chain ring bolt out so I don't drop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pop that chain ring off now. Tight. If you use a Shimano one like a 105 or a Ultegra, you'll have to get chainring bolts. You can buy them from the guy as well. You can buy it in the pack, so he sells different packs with big chainrings, the bolts. You can buy bits and pieces off him, whatever you need. So if you do need one chainring, you can buy it. And there we go, that's both the chain rings off. Pretty worn, look at that. Now, let's see, so we're looking for the 4-arm, that's a 5-arm, so we want 5-arm rotation. It's got a diagram on. Yeah, let's go going backwards then. So we go 5-arm and rotation that way. Crank needs to be there because there's a position for it. And rotation will work perfectly, so we just got to get it on. Over. There's only one position for the crank on that one apparently. And on up. It looks perfect there, and that'll just hang there. Let's try with the smaller one first, yeah? And I'll give that a whirl and then I'll try to change the big one. So we want to put the fixing bolt on really put a thread lock on that, but you never know, it might just make a difference. Let's take your thread lock and we'll just throw a bit on there just for safety. I seem to have lost that screw. I just picked it up again. Let's stick a bit of thread lock on there. Make sure it's nice and on there. And what we'll do is we'll stick it through. Let's see, crank BCD arm 5, 4, 12 o'clock. So that's going to go up like that, and that's 12, 6. I don't think it really makes a difference which way we do it. And what we'll do is we'll stick the, sorry, I'm putting it on backwards. We'll stick the screw through like that. Put the cap back on the thread lock. And put the bolt on like that. So if the chain falls behind the crank arm, it just gets caught up in that and doesn't lock up. So let's just give it a bit of tighten there. This is a flathead screwdriver, it'll just hold tight. A good little tighten. Check that. And we'll try it in that position anyway. That's the position it came in. I'll adjust it as I need to, as I go along, by just moving it backwards and forwards in those 5 slots. So let's go, we'll throw that to where the crank arm goes on. So that's going to go behind like that. And we just pick it up till we get all of them lined up, just like that. Yeah, and we throw the crank bolts back in. Now, thread lock on. Let's do one at a time. So what we'll do is we'll throw a thread lock on there. As I say, there's a chance that these might come loose. Thread lock on. You shouldn't. What we do is we just give that a good hold. Oh, sorry about that. We'll tighten up. Nicely. Just throw another crank bolt in there. There. And a bit of thread lock. I have to let it sit for a bit so the thread lock bites, yeah. It fits on a 4-arm crank and a 5-arm crank. It seems to go fine. I want to feel the difference when I'm climbing there. There we go. Just snap in place there. Throw a bit of thread lock on there. Looks a lot nicer than the old worn out chain. I haven't tightened any of these down yet, I just want to throw them in first. I have to pick a chain. Chain should be fine. It's the. I just want to get it to a point that I'm not pressing against the derailleur when I tighten it. Notice the ellipse or the ovalness a bit more when you're trying to get it past the derailleur. Derailleur will have to shift up a tiny bit. Now remember, you don't have to wedge these things, you just give them a bit of a tightening. You don't want to strip them or snap them. Yeah, there we go. Remember, they do have thread lock on. It looks all right now. Yeah, so now we've got to loosen up the derailleur cable first. Otherwise we can't move it up. Make sure we shift it into the smallest. Yeah. And here we go. This one is a band on. This one's not a band on. Make sure your derailleur is always in line with the chainring. If you look from the back, you can actually see it now. That needs to shift over a tiny bit more. Not that much more. Spot on. Let me just make sure it's not going to hit anywhere. There's a 2 point, nearly 3 mil gap there, all the way around. Yeah, that looks perfect. Let's slide it up there. I'm not going to over tighten it. I want to check that the distance is right first. I just don't want it to slide while I'm going. I don't want to over tighten it to crack the carbon. Yeah? Now I just want to get a bit of tension on this cable. I can always adjust it with the barrel adjusters afterwards. Yeah? I didn't take the cable out, so the cable's running the right way through the derailleur. Just get a little bit of tension on the cable there. Now, Let's give that a shift up. This isn't too bad. I didn't even adjust the cable properly. Slight bit of tension on the cable and we should be fine. That feels alright. So there we go, it's all on the FSA crank there. All looks fine, seems to be shifting away fine. I'll have to take it for a spin tomorrow. It's dark, cold and raining outside, so I ain't gonna do it now. This is what I'm cycling in with the thing for a test. Pretty wet and manky. 20k so far into the wind. Doesn't feel too bad. All the hills, roads are very wet and manky. Tires haven't slipped once. Not too bad. All back and shaved and washed and dried. It was pretty tough out there today, a bit windy. Chain rings don't look like they've taken much wear on them. They look alright. Things I noticed when I was cycling, I seemed to be able to recover the gears a lot easier. If I tried to stand up in too light a gear, it felt very bouncy. But if I gear down, I could recoup gears, which is nice. On some of the climbs, they were 14-15%, so they were very steep and gravelly, but back wheel didn't even slip once, which is very unusual, especially out here in Ireland where it's so wet and the roads are quite stony. I haven't been cycling for 8 months, so I had another little baby, but yeah, it actually went very well. I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't notice too much of a difference. The legs don't feel too sore. I feel better than I thought I would. Yeah, so all good. So the next one, excuse all the traffic noise. About to go for another spin up with the new, the other chainring on. G2. I want to see how that one goes now. Feels a bit odd. Feels like the pedals kind of slipped out from under you. Another sunny day in Galway. Well, that was my second adventure on these cranks. I put the other one on there, if you can see. It's a lot, there we go. It's a lot more elliptical. I had a bit of trouble setting it up. I'll go through that shortly with you. What I noticed with it was it goes very hard and very easy, so it actually feels like the back tire is slipping, but it's not. It feels incredibly different. It feels actually quite good on the flats. In climbing, I find myself going into the low chainring a lot less for some reason. It just felt better. I wonder if he makes a small chainring that's edge elliptical. I'd like to give that a try and just see how I get on with it. I know, like the old Biopace used to. I've still got a set on my trainer, running on old bike, which I like to use just to make the cycling a bit different. But this feels very good. I think I'm going to keep these ones on for a while and see how I get on.